Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and today I'm going to be starting a review on the 1 to 100 scale high-grade Gundam X. And this is the front of the box, and mine seems to have a bright green sticker on it advertising a Gundam X game for the Wonder Swan. But anyway, you already pretty much saw this in the unboxing video, so I'm not going to go over that again. So, the way I'm going to be doing this review is I'm going to review the Gundam X, and then in part 2 I'm going to review the Gundam X Divider, since it's pretty much the exact same body, only with different weapons. And then in part 3 I'm going to review this kit after I've painted it and modified it. And so naturally I'm recording this long before I'm going to be recording part 3. So anyway, since we've got to do articulation and weapons in one video, let's get started. For colors, you're going to get an off-white. It's actually a very, very light gray for probably a good 75% of the kit. You're going to get a very, very bright blue. It's brighter than the blue that usually comes with Gundams like RX-78 and 00 Riser. Very nice, actually. You get pretty much standard Gundam red, standard Gundam yellow. You get clear green parts for the little thingy that the microwave beam goes into on the chest, clear green parts for the eyes, and then clear green for the beam saber. And of course you get gray parts for the hands and the joints and some of the weapons. And on this kit you get nice chrome plated parts. Now at first I thought these parts were just regular chrome silver, but upon closer inspection they're actually a chrome very, very, very light blue. I mean, you can really barely tell. You probably can't even tell on the camera, but it's just got a hint of like a sky blue in there. So I thought that was a nice touch. So yeah, let's go ahead. Actually, before I do articulation, I'll go over the stickers. You get a sticker for the eyes, a white sticker for the chest, supposed to be on there. 2 more of those kind of chrome sky blue stickers that are supposed to go on the side skirts. Blue stickers for the wrist. 2 red triangles that go on the knees. And then some dark bluish gray stickers that go around the edge of the beam rifle. And obviously I didn't apply those because I'll be painting this kit, which you will see in part 3, like I said earlier. So now for articulation. You know what? I'm going to take the backpack off. The head is on a single ball joint, so it can go up and down, left and right, and it can go 360, but the chin piece kind of touches against this collar, so you want to be careful. The arms are just on a peg, like so. So they can go 360. The shoulder armor is separate from the shoulder joint, so the arm can go out about that far, and then the shoulder armor can move separately. He's got the 90s style elbow joints, which is just 2 polycaps. So it is double jointed, but you're only actually get I mean, not quite 180, but it's definitely further than 90. Although you want to be careful because this polycap tends to split apart if you bend it this far. And of course, being 2 polycaps, it means that there's rotation at the elbow. And he's got the old style high-grade hands. It has a ball joint for the wrist, and the fingers are separate, with the index finger being separate from the other 3. The thumb doesn't move. The waist joint is just on a peg, and it can move side to side, but if you pull it out just a little bit, he can do a full 360. Front skirts are on ball joints, so they can actually come up pretty far, and they can wiggle around just a little bit. Side skirts are on a peg, so they can go back and forth, and up and down a bit. The back skirts do not move, it's just one solid piece. Oops, lost a front skirt. The hip joints are on a ball joint, so they can go forward and back, and they can only go in and out about that far. The knee joints are actually kind of disappointing because they can only bend that far. I'm not even sure that's quite 90 degrees. It's pretty much 90 degrees, but maybe like 89 degrees. But anyway, I figured out that the main culprit of that is the design for the back of the thigh here. It just doesn't let that knee joint bend any further than that. Which is something I plan to fix, which you'll see in part 3. The ankle joint is just a single ball joint, so ankles can go side to side pretty well, actually. Lots of good range of movement. They can go up and down. They can rotate. I wonder if they can go 360. You'll just have to be careful because of this giant ankle armor. And the ankle armor is separate, and it's connected to the foot and can go back and forth. So that does it for articulation. The weapons is pretty much the satellite system, although there are a few extras in there. You'll just connect that to the back. And before I get to the satellite system, I'll just go over the other ones. You've got a Gatling gun here on the shoulder, and it just flips down and fires over Gundam X's shoulder like so. I'm going to raise this camera up a bit. You get a beam rifle shield combo, and this is it in beam rifle mode. And back in the 90s they didn't have pegs to hold the weapons in the hand, so it's kind of hard to get it to stay in, unfortunately. But really, with the Gundam X, you're not really going to be concerned with this. It's the satellite system that's the real star. But to transform this into a shield, you'll flip the scope down, push the barrel in, and then the whole thing folds forward, the handle goes down, and this is the shield. Very small, plain looking shield. And really awkward to hold as well, because he can't hold it when the handle's like this, so the only way he can hold it is like that. So when you get this, you're probably not even going to use this weapon. And then he's got a beam saber, quite a large one. It's actually attached to the back of the satellite cannon, which I thought was nice. It just comes out, and they give us a two-piece beam. And what they're doing is they're trying to go for kind of a 3D effect, and they accomplish that just by having two separate pieces for the beam, which come together in kind of a crisscross pattern. And I guess it's supposed to make the beam look bigger and thicker. I actually probably would have preferred a flat beam. And then for the satellite cannon, my favorite part. First, you're going to rotate all of this stuff around, and you've got a hinge back here that's actually going to rotate the whole thing around as well. And you're going to line it up about like this. The panels flip out, and then they're on polycaps, so each one of them just rotates like so. And then for the satellite cannon itself, it just comes down over the shoulder. The barrel extends a little bit, a handle comes down, and there you go. And it's actually a really nice effect, I think. The only bad thing about it is that it's a little bit hard to get Gundam X to grab onto that handle, but with a little bit of work you can make it look pretty nice, I think. And the chrome plated parts for the panels there really give it a nice effect. So, did I forget anything? I guess that about does it for part 1, and that does it for the Gundam X. So just make sure to come back for part 2, and we will go over the Gundam X divider.